Okay, I got the red smoke.
Gun runs north to south, west of the smoke, west of the smoke.
Okay, copy. West of the smoke. I'm looking at danger close now.
Come on with it, baby. Give it to me. I need it. Get cleared hot.
Copy, cleared hot.
And we're going.
Where, though? Where are we going?
Well, I'm going to Missoula.
Well, let's dive into it.
That's pretty much all there is to say. That's
How
not much else.
so? And what's the term that we should use? Moving on to greener pastures.
I mean, I guess whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't say greener, just different.
Yeah. And for clarity, although I give you a hard time on just about everything, it's because I actually care about you, and I couldn't be more stoked for you to go.
Yeah.
Do whatever it is you're going to
No, I knew you'd be
maybe
excited. I don't know, whatever, but I knew you'd be supportive.
Yeah. All problems have solutions as long as you look hard enough for them.
And we've actually found a solution. We didn't really even have to look that hard.
We didn't. And I mean, this is no spoiler alert to anybody. Neither you and I are tech guys.
No.
And we're also not video production guys.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of times that I've had to go onto YouTube and say, how do you? Lens, cameras, all that. So yeah, a buddy of ours who is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, professional videographer and photographer who can help. He's already talked about changing a few of the settings on the cameras, a few settings
great.
on the lights for temperature type stuff,
Yeah.
which I thought all lights were at the same temperature, but I mean, apparently it has something to do with the color. Yeah. Anywho, I think it's a step in the right direction.
I think so too. It's literally an upgrade from me in every way.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is that hard?
No, it's a very low bar.
Is it above the ground, or just does the bar lay on the ground?
It's basically, it's like a little raised step on the sidewalk that you trip over a little bit. But
Or did we find a big enough crack to put the bar into it that it's just flat?
It's just level.
Yeah.
It's probably just level.
How uncanny was it, though? Because you had obviously been thinking about this. This goes back to the last Negligent Discharge Friday, where we opened with a set of cards. And the question that and you didn't tell me until afterwards. You kind of alluded to it. You said, kind of thinking about doing this, that, or the other. And afterwards, almost the instant we turned the camera off, you said, you're not going to believe, but
that
I actually want to
card.
go back to school.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, are you joking? Because like, obviously I wasn't going to tell you the full thing for the first time on air.
You could have. My reaction would have been different.
I know, but I'm not saying because of that. I just wouldn't. I don't know. It just wouldn't feel right to do that.
Would it feel wrong? It wouldn't have felt wrong either. That's kind of where you live. You know what I mean? You don't know if it feels right or it feels wrong. You're just curious.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Speaking of curious, why don't you highlight the educational tool that my sister provided for you?
Oh.
Have you determined what it is?
Yeah, she told me. It's like, let's see, make sure the audience can see this. It is like the...
It's not it is an anatomical representation of...
in the womb, a child before they develop either a penis or a vagina. This is what it is, right? That's what she said. Did I get that completely wrong? I thought that's what she said. What did I get wrong?
Do you want to go alphabetically?
That is what she said.
She said that men and women at the biological level start with the same raw material.
Yes.
One turns into a penis.
Yes.
The other one into a...
Vagina.
Yes.
Yes.
That is a physical representation.
Oh.
I might be completely wrong.
It's not actually what it looks like.
Of the entire structure
of
the female... Starts with a C.
Oh.
Say it.
I don't want to. You say it.
What? Be an adult.
Let's
have a sex ed class.
Clitoris.
There you go. So you have a treasure map now for the remainder of your life.
Thanks.
Yeah. Why did she feel like you needed it is a better question.
That's a really good question because...
It's easy to answer, though.
Yeah. Obviously. It's very obvious.
Totally. Go home, study.
I'm
5 minutes
not
a night before you go to bed.
What's that?
5 minutes per night before you go to bed.
That's all it takes.
I don't know.
Alrighty.
Man, we are off to the races already
We are
today.
really off
We've
to a
done
great
You're
start.
Moving, some sexual education. For the 3 people who are still with us on this episode, what do you want to talk about today?
Not much.
What do you got for today? Do we have happy day, sad day? Or you always seem to have a mix.
Yeah, honestly, it's mostly sad. Some humorous things. Do we want to start with humorous or sad?
Oh, I don't care. How do you decide which things to highlight on these episodes? For the audience, I turn that over to you. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
It's kind of whatever suits your fancy, which is a dangerous proposition.
Dangerous. Mix of news, current events, and just things that I'll find just online.
Okay. Fire
Yeah.
away. What do you have for this Friday's episode?
Okay, so I think this story here goes to show that frustration in politics is not just an American thing. Have you heard of this Count Binface?
Listen, when I first read that, I'm going to be honest. I saw cunt bin face, and I was wondering where we were going with this. No, Count Binface, the man in a can with a plan, seeks parliament seat in Britain's wackiest election. Is this real?
This is a legit candidate running against Nigel Farage, who is the current. So I don't think he's running against him for the prime ministership, but I think he's running against Nigel Farage's seat where he's currently elected.
Scroll down. I'm kind of digging. Okay, so hold on. I want to look at his outfit. So we have a silver cape that almost looks like some semblance of football shoulder pads. Today's episode is brought to you by Firecracker Farm. The website says it all. The home of hot salt. And it's not all that hot. You don't have to be scared of this because I'm kind of a spice baby. You could just ask my wife. I do not like incredibly spicy things, but there is a suite of salts that Alex and his family make that are just unbelievable, and I put them on everything at this point. I mentioned they have a variety of flavors. My number one, my favorite, top right when you hit on the shop tab, Pineapple Express. Then as you go down, there's Apocalypto, Snake Eater, Yuzu, Mermaid Mustache, Double Barrel, Lambu Lemon Drop, Normalized Violence, The Brick, Vanilla Heat Hot Sauce. That's another one that I like that's lower on the heat scale, but that flavor of vanilla just pulls through. You'll see when you go to their website too, they have these push-button plungers. They come in these metal dispensers with the ability to refill the salt. They come with additional salt as well. You could travel with them if you want to. You could take them to a restaurant if you want to. Totally up to you. It changes the flavor profile and dynamic of everything that you're eating. It's unbelievable. I can't recommend it enough. I've said this so many times, I'm not going to stop saying it either. The salt is fantastic. The family behind it, Alex and his family, this is a small business doing it together, creating, building, fulfilling. I absolutely love it. I'm never going to stop supporting businesses like that. So if you're interested, head over to firecracker.farm and elevate your food game. Firecracker.farm. Back to the show. Okay, so, wow. Mm-hmm. Have you ever watch the video I think we have where the people are passing the basketball back and forth and they tell you to,
Yes.
and then the gorilla walks through?
Yes.
I almost didn't see the fox on the right-hand side.
Yeah, you're so focused on
or I'm
Count
assuming that's a
Binface.
fox with very rabid eyes that says protect British wildlife. So I have no idea. So from left, Count Binface, and then British Prime Minister Andy Burnham and animal welfare activist Wigan in England in June. What are we looking at?
So I guess I didn't know Nigel Farage is not the prime minister anymore. It's this guy, apparently.
That's what the subtitle would allude to. Yes.
Yes. So this guy, Count Binface, has been...
I'm not calling him that.
Well, nobody knows his real name.
Okay.
Exploding in popularity, and I think it is mostly because of a backlash at the current political state in the UK, which honestly translates over to the US. A lot of people are hating our current political state.
I think they're a touch ahead of us in some of the progressive policies. So I think
Yes.
we're getting a little bit of a sneak preview to the answer to some of the test questions.
Like, what do you mean?
Meaning the frustration level.
Yes.
I think they're a touch ahead of us on some of the policies that they've instituted.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the U.S. want to mirror some of those policies, but you can forward look. You don't need to. You can look across the Atlantic and see what I mean is the answers to the tests. These have been applied in places.
Well, he's running against Nigel Farage, who is a ultra right wing.
Okay.
Yeah. He's an intergalactic space warrior.
Is he though?
Self-described.
And Do you have any semblance? When he said he's exploding in popularity, that's one thing. Is it notoriety, or is this person actually getting?
He's projected to get 20% of the vote in Clacton. I think the town is called Clacton.
I think it's safe to say that most people. I'll speak for myself only. It's more than safe to say. I look back at our political system and the political system of the UK, or any at this point, people running for public office, and I'm not so sure that the system itself is survivable at its current state. I completely understand people becoming frustrated because it doesn't seem to matter if you run on the left or the right or the center. You have all the promises in the world, and then you get there and almost nothing is accomplished. It's like there are just 3 on-ramps or 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever it is, but it all ends up in this one water slide.
Yeah.
So it looks like you're headed in a different direction, but 50 yards down the road, they all converge, and then you're on the same water slide. And I've heard other people say this. I agree with it. I'm not an expert in politics, but I do think without term limits and our ability to ferret people out of being professional politicians their entire life, we're headed for problems. And there also has to be an additional step to that. The number of people who are lifetime government service employees, and I've used the example.
Ridiculous, yep.
Well, I've used the example many times from the officer detailer in the SEAL community. I believe it was a woman. I'll leave her name out of it. I think I've said it before, but just in case I haven't, I'll leave it a little bit neutral. She was there for decades. And every 2 years, though, a new active duty officer would come in. And technically, that's the active duty officer detailer. But if you really wanted something done, you called and you asked for her because she knew all the billets and all the officers from ensign to admiral and had shepherded some people's careers through that period. So on paper, the officer detailer was the active duty person that rotated through every 2 years. But the power broker was anything but that. And that system also exists in a lot of government institutions as well. We vote for the vast minority of people that are actually serving in government, and those people are tremendous power brokers. They can get things done quickly, or they can drag their feet and prevent us from getting anything done. And their job's fine, but I think a lot of people suffer because of that.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like this is kind of a backlash to some of that, where it's like, you're not even representing us, so watch this. We're going to vote for this doofus, and we don't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's going to be meaningful, but I understand where it's coming from. I completely understand the sentiment of, well, absolutely nothing else so far has worked. So you know what? Let's vote for the most ridiculous thing to even see if it makes a difference. Yeah,
and here is some of his ridiculous policies that he has.
Oh, nice. Let's go from top to bottom. Cut your taxes, raise everyone else's. So how does this work beyond the one person?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Nationalize Adele. Are we talking about the music?
I think the singer, I believe.
I'm going to support that. Yeah. Adele's voice is not
very
bad.
Good.
Yeah,
very good.
Strong. Nationalize model railways. Are we talking the little microscopic?
I think this is like the miniature railways.
As hobbies. Okay. Okay. Send $1 trillion a week to the NHS. No. Who can't get on board with this? This should be the first one. Cap croissants at £1.10.
Do they say cents?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
What would that be? £1.10. Sorry for anybody across the pond. I really don't know.
I'm gonna ask Google here.
Yeah, or €1.
No, they use pounds.
That's a pound, yeah. £1. What would they call the 10?
The UK equivalent for the cent is the penny plural pence.
10 £1, 10 pence.
Yeah.
People were screaming
British.
at their computers or whatever device. Sorry for anybody in the UK. I have not spent a lot of money over there. Cap 99 flake ice creams at 99 pence. That seems like how can you argue against that?
99.
Cap Wigan kebabs, which in parentheses, basically a butter pie and barm cake at £2. Tie all government ministers' pay, including the mayor's, to that of nurses for the next 100 years.
I also support that.
You know, again, this is stuff I see on the internet. None of this is my idea. And just because it was a small snippet in a larger video, most of the video didn't make sense. But in this context, it essentially said, why don't we overpay teachers and underpay politicians?
Yeah.
And then the person said, I bet you we have a lot less stupid people.
I would agree with that.
I would fully support that.
I fully support that.
Yeah.
I would argue teachers are much more important than politicians, actually.
To our day-to-day life, and I think the continued ability for our civilization to exist, yes, I support that for sure.
Yes.
MPs to lose their subsidized cheap food and drink in Parliament. I don't actually know what many of those words mean. Auto-renew on all online subscriptions to be abolished immediately.
I like that too.
Fuck yes.
You should get an email saying, do you want to renew? And you can just click no.
Have you ever gone into your Apple account and then gone into subscriptions?
Yes.
What'd you find?
Too many.
I did this and found that I was paying for the same subscription multiple times.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
No.
For a time, I shared an iCloud account with my children.
Oh.
My oldest, Riley, one month put $400 on these micro transactions. I forget the game. I want to say it was Clash of Clans, but I don't think it was.
Yeah.
But he kept buying coins. And apparently he felt no need to ask for the $1.99 purchase 200 times.
How old was he?
Probably 22, but that's how old he is now.
This was yesterday.
No, this is probably 13 to 16, something like that. So yeah, there were a lot of double and triple subscriptions in there. Pensions to be double locked with a little extra chain on the side. I'm
not sure what that means.
either. Okay.
There's a lot here, so we don't have to go through
This is
every
amazing
single
though.
one.
Wi-Fi on trains that work. Support. Trains. Followed by trains that work. Interesting that he put Wi-Fi on the trains above the trains working.
So that, I can vouch for that because when we were in the UK, dude, the train situation was pretty bad. Not going to lie. We were crammed. There were about 3 times the normal amount of people crammed on one train because 2 of them were out of service.
Okay.
And it was about a 2-hour ride standing the whole time.
Yeah.
Train was late. One of the trains got canceled. We had to get a voucher for a taxi because the train couldn't get us all the way to London. So then we had to take an hour taxi drive into London. It was terrible.
Good.
Horrible.
I'm glad all of that happened to you.
I know you're glad, but
I'm glad because none of that would happen here in Montana. And if you don't have things like that happen to you in life, if that was your dark night of the soul, which if you don't know what that is,
no, it wasn't my dark night. It was just frustrating. It was just annoying.
It sounds like it was. There was emotion in your voice with that. You sounded like a bitch.
Okay,
like a little
moving on.
first world bitch.
You would be complaining way worse than me if that happened.
No, I
to you.
wouldn't.
Yes, you would. On the
Do
train.
you have any idea some of the living conditions that I have spent?
No, I know they're
months
terrible.
and years in.
I know they're terrible.
I had 2 times as many people in my train
3.
that I was trying to travel through the first world. I was trying to make my way to, this is exactly what
I
you
know
sound like,
you'd
by
be
the way.
pissed. I know you'd
This
be
is
pissed.
as if when people,
No, you'd be
just so
pissed.
people know, this is me, Andy, making Michael's voice because I know I sound exactly
Just
like he
like
just
me.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, it was the hardest train ride of my entire,
I was hardest.
yeah, whatever. That's what you sound like. Also, even I am recognizing you've worn that Mexico shirt several times for Friday episodes.
I told you I have like 6 shirts.
Do you want the brown shoes back that you wore to Tyler's birthday party, by the way? I think they're at the house.
Really?
Yeah, the slip-ons?
No, I'm pretty sure I took those back.
Okay,
They must
I
be
don't know.
Tyler's.
I don't know. I digress. Yeah, that's not really that bad.
Yeah, well, it wasn't fun.
Oh, dude.
And it's a
Are you going to be
vacation.
okay?
No.
It wasn't that fun?
No, I'm going to go cry after this, actually.
I was assuming you were crying during. What did you do with yourself while you were standing there?
It was terrible. I almost jumped off the train.
I don't think you could have figured out how to open the door.
No, I would have broken the window.
It probably was plexiglass. You probably would have broken your hand. Let me see more. I do find it interesting that Wi-Fi on a train that works was above line item number 2,
And
which is
then
actually trains that work.
Yeah.
I would probably invert those two.
I think you did it for comedic effect.
Yeah. Free parking for electric vehicles between Vine Street and that's all super local stuff. Housing, go down a little bit. Mm-hmm. Build at least one affordable house. Nice, strong. MPs, I feel like that has something to do with Parliament or something to do with their electorate. Constitutional reform, abolish the House of Lords. Nope, I cannot get on board with that because I don't even know what it is, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah, House of Lords does sound cool.
It sounds cool. I don't know what they do though, so maybe there's a good reason for that. Introducing a minimum wage or minimum voting age of 16 and a maximum of 80. That's pretty fair.
I like that.
I don't know if I trust my dad to vote anymore.
No, I don't either.
I was looking at when we went out to to dinner for Tyler's birthday, which, by the way, thanks for being a wingman for him until 2 a.m.
Of course.
It was epic.
Yes. Made sure he got home safe.
Yeah. I was looking at the menu. I think there's a reason why children's and seniors is on the same paragraph.
Yeah.
Because you start off life as a child and then you return to one.
Yeah. I can get behind that.
He is out of his mind.
He's living his own life, living his best life, one could say.
For sure. And I'm fully supportive of it. Yeah. But I was thinking that when we were sitting there at the table, we start off needing all the help we can get, and then we end off needing all the help we can get. Potentially even diapers on both sides.
Yeah. Actually, that is true for a lot of people.
In the diaper section, which I know you have probably never gone in.
Nope.
There's children's and adults.
Yeah. For a reason.
Again, bookended.
Yep.
All right. Any other?
Well, look, this one I think is also very good.
MPs to live in the area they wish to represent for 4 years before standing for. Yes, of course. Yeah, you should actually have some tie and live in the community that you want to represent.
Yep.
So I mean, that's the. You know what's crazy is it's not crazy. It's just again it highlights the ridiculous nature of politics. Some of these are clearly in jest.
Yes, of course.
And they're funny.
Yes.
Some of these are so common sense that you can't tell if they're jest or real, because that's how ridiculous the system is.
Because it should be this way.
Like, yeah, that's a pretty reasonable idea.
But the fact that you even have to bring this up is comedic.
Yes, correct. Let's see. London to join the European Union. I don't know. I've heard pros and cons of that. Environment and utilities go down. Stop the sale of arms to repressive regimes. Okay. Water company bosses to take a dip in the British rivers and see how they like it. Fully support that.
Love it.
Abolish VAR in football. So I know they're talking about soccer. I don't know what that is. Corners in football to be refereed properly. Okay, this guy's obviously a soccer fan. Tries in rugby league to be increased from 4 to 5 points in line with inflation. Okay. All British citizens to be offered stilts to combat the UK's increasingly wet climate. I don't know if stilts solves that.
Well, I guess it won't make your feet wet anymore.
I like it. National Yorkshire Pudding Day to be a bank holiday, except for banks. Strong.
It's amazing. Wow, he's got a whole Wallace and Gromit to be knighted for services to Wensleydale.
Okay.
Nice.
And then a golf course at Richmond Swimming Pool to host the Open Championship. Strong. Count Binface to represent the UK at Eurovision. I don't know what that is, but
it's a music contest.
Make Piers Morgan zero emissions by 2030.
Oh, that's so funny.
God.
See,
we're not that far behind in the US,
no,
I think.
We're not. But this is I support. You know what? If I lived in Clacton, I would vote for Count Binface.
You know that people there are thinking to themselves, what does it matter?
Yeah.
You've tried voting for both sides, and
so I'm going to vote for this guy now.
Yeah, the end result was the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll vote for a dude with the garbage can on his
It's just
head.
kind of a middle finger to the system. I was just like, dude, you guys are doing nothing. This is who we're voting for.
The only issue would be is if he's a candidate and draws enough votes away from somebody who would be even worse. And that person, you know what I mean? He draws enough of the vote away. If there's somebody who was a reasonable and somebody who was shitty, it draws enough away from the reasonable that the shitty person gets elected. But that's probably the argument against the third party that's used the most often. I'm not an expert in politics, but I can see that being the case. So.
Yeah. Anyways, Count Binface for you.
Strong opener. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Your news feed is far different than mine. I can tell you that right now. And I do support nationalizing Adele.
Yeah, I think that's a good strong option.
Yeah.
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 Now on to some corruption.
Oh, we were just talking about politics.
Yeah, exactly.
Continuing our talk on corruption.
Except for American politics, Trump will be selling early access to his Truth Social tweets, which often are very market moving. So essentially insider trading. Yeah.
So I had just heard somebody, I had heard this and thought nothing of it because I'm not on Truth Social, nor do I don't know if I actually follow any political figures on any platform. I don't think that I do. I don't follow the White House. I don't follow Trump on any of the social media platforms. I had heard somebody else talking about this being the potential for insider trading. I don't know what the legitimate criteria for that means, but yes, if it's a market mover and he's soliciting
Yeah.
to be paid for it. And I don't know if it's 6 seconds or 60 seconds or 6 minutes or 6 hours. I don't know. But what are we doing?
I mean, that's blatantly saying, hey, this is going to move a market. Whoever pays me.
Dude, they're not hiding anything at this point.
It's very blatant. And
do you know what they paid the UFC fighter bonuses in?
Trump coin.
Yes.
Which Trump coin is a whole other can of worms with
Look
how
up
quickly
Trump
it was rug
Mobile.
pulled. Trump Mobile. I mean,
what's going on?
Directly profiting off the presidency.
Hold on. Cost. Whoa. Okay. Is Truth Social free?
In general, for like just a normal person, yes.
I had seen these figures that I'm about to read. I thought this was a typo. Truth API service. The cost for the program costs between $60,000 and $100,000 per month. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
First off, who would pay that and why?
Mm-hmm.
What is going on?
Yeah. You know, who would pay that is somebody very rich who's very active in the market, or a company, some hedge fund or whatever.
Hold on, look at this. Delivers top user posts, most notably from President Donald Trump, seconds or milliseconds before. Is that enough? I mean, I'm not saying I support this, and I do know, I'm right up to the edge of my skis on knowledge on this, but I have read a few articles talking about there was competition in New York, in and around New York, to get the fastest fiber optic cable possible, because there is money to be made when it comes to milliseconds or fractions.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that is real for sure. $60,000 to $100,000 a month to get a millisecond. Again, I'm not in the market, so I don't understand.
But that's the thing is, so let's say you pay $100,000 a month for this, but if you get a tweet 30 seconds before everybody else, and you can make that market move before the markets actually move, you could potentially make millions. And so it covers the cost. It's well worth it.
I don't understand how this is legal.
It shouldn't be. And I think probably because this is new territory.
Insider trading is not new territory.
No. But that's the thing, is insider trading is technically illegal, but everybody does it.
Adoption. More than 10 subscribers, including trading firms and financial outlets, have already signed on. Okay, why would they do that? They, especially if they are publicly traded, are looking at their bottom line and ROI.
Yes.
So what return on investment am I going to get for this? Yes, that's an informational advantage, I'm assuming here. Like I said, dude, the politicians aren't even hiding it anymore.
It's just, it's blatantly out in the open. And the other thing, I mean, going off of corruption and making money off the presidency.
Donald Trump generated an estimated $2.2 billion to $2.4 billion in total revenue and business income during 2025, the first year of his second presidential term. This figure represents a dramatic increase from the $622 million to $760 million his enterprise brought in through 2024. Prior to his return to the White House, this massive surge in earnings was revealed in his mandatory annual financial disclosures form filed with the Office of Government Ethics. Primary revenue drivers, according to investigations by news outlets and financial analysts, the vast majority of Trump's 2025 income came from newly launched digital assets and traditional real estate holdings. I know he's held real estate for a long time, so
yeah, that's probably not a huge.
So cryptocurrency venture, $1.4 billion. This was the largest single driver of his revenue. Is he directly involved in this, or is this where his family has a cutout? Or not a cutout, but he is supposedly not involved, even though I bet you his sons are involved in this.
So I don't know if he was, but he definitely promoted it.
You know, I'm not against people making money. I want people to be able to pursue the American dream. Pick whatever number you want for you, which is enough for you. Hopefully it's not more, because I've watched so many people just auger themselves in the pursuit of more, because what they have is never enough. And I want people to be, I believe in capitalism. I believe in competition. I am fine with all of that. I don't know. not being an expert in this world, looking at the political system, we were just talking about how I think that the UK is ahead of us in some progressive policies and ideas that they've implemented. We might be ahead of them when it comes to something like this.
Yeah.
I don't know, again, putting the legalities of this aside, just from an optic, I wouldn't want anybody to assume the office of the president with the sole driver being their self-enrichment or their family enrichment.
Yeah.
Is it probably going to happen anyway, especially as they leave office with opportunities that are going to come their way? Sure. And that's, you get the ticket to the dance, you do the best you can. And when you okay, I get that. But I don't understand. Again, maybe this is totally legal and I am talking out of my ass here, which is incredibly possible. I don't like the optic.
No.
I don't like the optic at all. About 17 million in merchandise and publishing, real estate and resorts, 300 million. He was deeply involved in that.
And again, that was before the presidency.
Cryptocurrency ventures, 1.4 billion.
The big problem is the crypto, because almost all
it's a crypto firm backed by his family. And I'm sure that there are legalities being at arm's reach and all that stuff. But at the same time, you ever heard the term the Biden crime family and talking about how Hunter Biden was paid millions of dollars by oil companies in Russia for consulting and all this stuff, and how hard into the paint they went on that? And
silence.
Yeah. And it's, again, balls and strikes. I want the United States to be as successful as possible, whether it's a Republican or a Democrat in office. This optic, to me, and I am totally open to being educated on this and somebody explaining this to me, how this is completely above board and in line with what we want from our elected officials. If somebody believes that, please reach out and explain that to me. I'm more than happy to have a discussion about it until I can educate myself further on this. But from looking at the things that were said about other political families and this type of behavior, I'm sorry, this is crazy to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Me as well. It's, to me, it seems to be blatant corruption. And, like you were saying, it's not because I don't like Trump and I think he's a bad guy. It's because you have a president who is directly using his position as president to profit off of the presidency in what seems to me to be above helping the American people.
Google, has any American president ever increased their net worth by $1 billion while in office?
Yes, Donald Trump increased his net worth by billions of dollars while in office, driven primarily by large ventures, blah, blah, blah.
So then Google, has any president other than Donald Trump increased? And again, his numbers were probably starting off larger than most other people's, so we can take that into account for sure.
This, just a quick thing, says Bill Clinton and Obama accumulated tens of millions, but their massive wealth increase predominantly occurred after leaving office.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, they start getting, hey, do you want to come talk to our group for 30 minutes?
Which I'm not against that
Here's
at all.
$500,000
Exactly.
in a private jet.
Exactly.
Like I said, that's the ticket to the dance. This job seems to age you in dog years. It's not unlike people who, I get hired to travel around the world and give speeches because of my military background. I'm not going to sit here and say it's because of, oh, hey, Andy, you're so unique in your thought process and you're just this unique dandelion that has all the petals. No, it's a combination mostly driven by my military background. I completely understand that. If I didn't have that, would any organization give two shits about what I think about leadership? I don't know, but I would assume probably not. It is the way that it is. I get it. The speaking circuit, an ex-president, you're getting a massive check.
Yeah,
you're going to get a book deal probably right out of office. Maybe double-digit millions, maybe single, but it's going to be high.
It's going to be high.
Again, that seems to be the standard, but amassing tens of millions of dollars is different than $1 billion, which is $1,000 million.
And this all in the first year of being a president. This isn't after the presidency, speaking about your experiences as a president. This is currently in office.
It's a rough optic. It's the silence is pretty deafening.
Yeah.
And I sit in the middle on a lot of stuff. I say it for the 5 millionth time, probably socially pretty liberal. I want people to live their best life and live their life that they want to. Don't push your life on me. I won't push my life on you. Fiscally very conservative, but a lot of my politics are very purple. I don't care who was in office. I wouldn't be a fan of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No, it's, and that's the thing. I think people are, a lot of people will say, oh, you're just attacking this because you don't like Trump. And while it is true, I'm not particularly a fan of Trump, something like this, no matter who's in office, is not okay. So anyways, I think we're getting a little too political right now, but
I don't know if, we're talking about politics, but again, if a Democrat is in office, I may not like the person. I may not like the policies, but that doesn't mean I want to see America fail.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think you should be able, depending on whatever your team jersey is, let's just go to sports. I played water polo and baseball when I was growing up. I should be able to, as a member of my water polo team, provide constructive criticism on a way as a team that we could perform better without being ostracized and put into this place where you're considered a traitor.
Right.
I can have criticisms of the team that you may be aligned with, but not throw the rest of the, and you know what I mean? You're not throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes.
You're just trying to call, again, balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Like Hunter Biden being paid millions of dollars. What is it, Burisma, the Russian organization?
I'm not sure. Let me see.
Yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. Maybe he has some ungodly insight into that area of the world. But I don't think that's the case. I think what he had was access to people in the White House. Ridiculous. Shouldn't ever happen.
Bacharina wired $3.5 million to an investment firm called Rosemont Seneca Thornton, which Hunter Biden co-founded.
Okay.
So, yeah, there is some weird connections there. Like, it's an odd connection for sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to, as a country, be better than this. That's what it comes down to for me.
Yeah.
Left or right in office, I want to be better than this.
It's just a bad look and, quite frankly, a little embarrassing on the world stage.
Man. Do you have anything funny? Do you have anything funny? Do you have any funny ha-ha topics?
I know. All the rest of them are kind of along the same vein, but now I'm like, man, I don't even want to talk about these.
They're all corruption? What do you got next?
Not all corruption, but some more. Here's a crazy one that I don't think we've covered yet.
All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Tiny Health. Tiny Health is an at-home gut health test that gives you a detailed breakdown of what's actually happening inside of your body. If you're tracking your workouts, your recovery, your sleep, and nutrition, but still not getting the results you expect, your gut microbiome might be the missing variable, impacting everything from inflammation and energy to immune function and performance. Most gut health tests give you a basic look at good and bad bacteria. Tiny Health uses metagenomic sequencing, the same technology used in clinical research to analyze your full gut ecosystem. You're not just seeing what's there, you're seeing what it's doing, signs of inflammation, leaky gut, or imbalances at the root of your symptom. You test at home, you send it in, and you get a personalized action plan with diet, lifestyle, and supplement recommendations based on purely your results and clinical evidence, no generic advice. Switching over to my personal report right now, it's pretty fascinating actually, and it's very detailed. There's a section called Your Microbiome and Health Conditions. When I click on that, it opens up to an area with a bunch of the things that they're testing for. Eczema, food allergies, hypertension, atherosclerosis, serotonin and melatonin in the gut, GLP-1 production, anxiety and depression, autobrewery syndrome, autism, diarrhea, gluten intolerance, irritable bowel syndrome, thyroid disease, frequent stomach issues. It's rated across 4 metrics. You can click on that to get additional details. And if it's in the warning area, it's going to give you suggestions, potentially supplements that you can use to get your gut biome back to a healthier condition. Start improving your health with real data from Tiny Health. Tiny Health is offering listeners their most aggressive offer yet, $50 off your first at-home test kit at tinyhealth.com/clearedhot. That's tinyhealth.com/clearedhot for $50 off. tinyhealth.com/clearedhot. Back to the show. Eileen Wang, the former mayor of Arcadia, California, resigned and pleaded guilty in May 2026 to a federal felony charge of acting as an unregistered illegal agent for the People's Republic of China. Wow. An elected official. A mayor. Again, dude, what does a mayor do?
I'm not exactly sure, actually.
Also, Google how many people are in Arcadia.
Will do.
Yeah. She admitted to using local news website to covertly publish pro-Beijing propaganda. Wow. 58 took office as mayor of Arcadia in February 2026.
About 50K.
Okay. I mean, so,
About a little bit bigger than Kalispell.
yeah. Took office as mayor in February of 2026. Resigned in May of 2026. So a very long tenure here.
Yeah.
One charge of acting as an illegal agent of a foreign government under 18 U.S.C. 951, carrying a maximum sentence of 10 years in federal prison. Between 2020 and 2022, Wang and her former fiancé operated the U.S. News Center, a diaspora-focused website. What does that mean? Diaspora-focused.
I don't know. Let me look it up.
Well, they took direct orders from Chinese officials to post articles favorable to Beijing, including essays denying human rights abuse in Xinjiang? Man.
The dispersion of a population from its original homeland, characterized by cultural retention, ties to an ancestral place, and life across multiple. So maybe a website focused on Chinese expats, maybe.
Scroll down. The aftermath. Wang formally entered her guilty plea in federal court, and the Arcadia City Council appointed Councilman Paul P. Cheng to succeed her as mayor. Did she go to jail? I mean,
I do not know. I don't know if that's still. What was her name? Let's see. Eileen Wang.
Eileen Wang. This is relatively recent, May.
Yes,
a couple months ago. An American mayor accused of secretly working for China.
She has not gone to jail yet, but she pleaded guilty. She remains out on bond awaiting her sentencing hearing.
Why don't we get her a one-way ticket to Beijing?
Honestly, just like get her out of here.
Okay. I mean, what was the title? Unregistered foreign agent. Well,
Yes.
Now you're registered. You've been registered.
You are now a foreign agent.
So,
you've been registered.
Like, if you want to do that, go do that shit in Beijing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Having said that, I'm sure it's probably a U.S. citizen, and I'm sure I'm violating some constitutional rights, and I have no idea what the law allows for. But as a spitballing idea, I don't have a problem with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, but crazy story. I mean, you always, obviously there are movies made on spies infiltrating into politics and whatever.
What do they call the Manchurian Candidate?
The Manchurian Candidate. Yeah, but that's kind of different.
Why?
Because a Manchurian Candidate is like somebody who doesn't know they're a spy until they're activated after they're into the highest.
What? How
I'm
do
pretty
they not
sure.
know?
Well, I think it's a fictional thing.
How would you not know?
Manchurian Candidate. No. Candidate meeting.
My knowledge on this subject comes from a movie that I watched.
A person, most often a politician, who is secretly used as a puppet by an enemy power. Oh, I guess not. The individual may be fully aware of their betrayal, or they might be an unwitting agent controlled through mind control, brainwashing, or covert manipulation. It's like a fictional thing.
I was going to say, like I just said, my understanding of a Manchurian Candidate comes from a movie from 20 years ago that I watched about 10 minutes of.
It's called Manchurian Candidate, right?
It is.
Yeah.
And for $1 million, I couldn't tell you who was in it, but I feel like it was a political movie. Of course not, because you weren't born.
No, I was not.
Mind control. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is not what happened here, but still very interesting. Interesting topic.
Yeah. Man, we're really just finding some cracks and seams today. What else you got? Screw it. Let's just keep going.
Kind of along the same lines. Former U.S. Marine held in Russia on disputed charges has been released.
What?
Have you not seen this?
No. Former U.S. Marine held in Russia on disputed charges. Oh, this guy was held for 4 years, right?
Yes, I believe so.
He kind of looks pretty similar to Nick, who was sitting here yesterday.
Oh, interesting.
Do you see it?
Yes, actually. Yeah.
I don't think you do. I think you're just saying that.
No, I do. I for some reason thought you were talking about the Friday episode, which I wasn't here for, but then I remember that we had one yesterday.
So when I said, let me just walk the dog here on this one for a sec.
I don't remember names.
When I said to you, it kind of looks like Nick, who was sitting here yesterday.
I don't think you did. You say that? I must have blocked that out.
So when I said that it kind of looks like Nick, who was sitting here yesterday, you jumped to a Friday episode where you weren't here.
Yep.
Okay. Moving on.
Glad we got that covered.
Russia released an American military veteran on Tuesday, allowing him to return to the U.S. after 4 years of what his family and U.S. officials alleged was wrongful incarceration and abusive treatment that left him near death. Whoa. 32-year-old Massachusetts teacher and former Marine was freed after President Trump said he spoke to Russian President Putin about his release, which Trump said it was very much on a humanitarian basis. What was he in there for?
For apparently assaulting an officer.
Ooh, what'd the officer do?
I'm not sure. I found it. Let's see. He was convicted of attacking a prison inspector during a cell check, beating an.
Well, what was he doing in prison, though?
I believe it was because he pled guilty to the charge and apologized. I believe it was because he initially attacked an officer. Is what I? Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go. Beating a police officer after being taken off a train for causing a disturbance. He was. I'm going to say there's a good chance he was shit-faced.
Yeah, actually, probably. Unfortunately, Russia,
vodka.
or really any country, any foreign country at the very least, is not the place to attack an officer.
Use with caution
Yeah.
in foreign countries. Do you ever have any desires to go to Russia?
Not really, and not because I don't think it would be like a nice country. I just, the current political climate, I think, would be inadvisable to go to Russia.
Well, you don't want to end up on the front lines?
Not
Conscripted?
really. That especially, but I think, I'm sure there's not a very fond view of Americans at this point.
If you were conscripted, I think you would just be like a pleasure servant. You would be a concubine for senior officers.
Okay.
That's just my
Thank
guess.
you. Yeah. thanks
If
for that.
I was to take a snapshot and just what do I think that the Russian military would use you for? That's it.
You know, it's very telling that this is where your mind goes every single time.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
It's telling about how you present yourself to the
Right.
world.
Yes, of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
Moscow's cool. They drink heavy there. I spent about 10 days there in maybe 2014, 2015. Got to walk all around there. I walked around the Kremlin,
That's cool.
the square right behind it that has all the lines painted that, you know, they're like, here's the rocket line, here's the tank line.
that's
Right
so
on the
cool.
other side of that is a mall.
No
with
way.
super high-end stores.
That's
yeah.
awesome. Is this after you got out? Mm-hmm. Dang, that's so cool. Did you go with like Rogue or something? I mean, not Rogue.
No, it was okay. So no, it was for Reebok because they were
Okay.
establishing. This is when I was working for CrossFit. So it had to have been 2014, 2015. They were working on establishing some gyms there. They had just signed the contract with CrossFit. Yeah, I went there solo for like 10 days.
Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, see, I would love to go. Like, I have nothing against Russia in general, but I just don't think the climate is good right now for Americans to be over there.
Where are you going again in October? And also, I have you gone for the entire month. I know that you
Yeah.
had some specific dates, but
Not true. Yeah, I won't be gone the entire month, but I'll be in Spain and Portugal. Yeah.
Spain and Portugal.
Yep. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Good time.
The toughest thing about you leaving is we have to find another wean sitter.
Yeah. That's
Plus, I don't think we've talked about it yet.
Another
but
bean
old
sitter.
-2.
Yeah.
We have a deposit down on another wean, and his name is Beans. And he is a dapple as well. We pick him up September 13th.
being the ween.
Yep.
Yep.
Beans and Javi. BJ, if you will.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that. That's the only reason you named him Beans.
We have to figure out the wean sitting situation. Because sometimes you just can't take the weans with you, like you're going hunting.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. That's probably the part about my job I will miss the most.
Really?
Probably.
Yeah, he'll forget about you.
Probably.
What else you got? This sucks. 4 years. At least you got out. What do you say? You wanted a cheeseburger? That's fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. After being in a Russian prison for
Man, I can't imagine. Well, not that I think American prisons are a walk in the park, even though, God, some of these white collar crimes. I was watching the documentary again on the Theranos lady.
Oh yeah,
And
that was like the blood testing thing, right?
yeah, was it though? Yeah, blood testing
yeah,
my
quote
ass.
unquote.
Yeah, some of the prisons, and I'm using very large air quotes with these, are just ridiculous.
Like as far as on which end, good or bad?
Well, there's both. There's
Yeah.
Supermax, where probably have the Hubble telescope up your asshole on Thursdays looking for contraband, and then other ones where you're playing, croquet, and I'm not sure that's actually the case. I'm just making this up.
Yeah.
But it seems like you got a lot more laxity, and you can kind of just do whatever you want to do. And there's workshops and all sorts of stuff.
Like the prison that Ghislaine Maxwell was in. or
Where is she
currently
at
is in.
now?
I don't know actually, but I've heard rumors that she was in a very nice luxury prison.
I don't think you should be able to pair those words.
Yeah, I don't think
I think
so either.
luxury and prison should not be able to exist in the same sentence.
I don't think so either. Although there are some, is currently detained at the federal prison camp, Bryan, in Bryan, Texas.
Google what's the nicest prison. I'm fascinated now as to how nice these things can get.
Nicest prison in the U.S. are minimum security federal prison camps. Okay, so federal prison camp where Maxwell is right now.
What makes them nice? Give us some details.
Often nicknamed. Okay, characteristics. Let me pull it up here. The private prison system is a whole other can of worms too, which is terrible.
Okay. Dormitory living. Inmates typically sleep in open bay bunk areas rather than traditional steel bar cells. Work opportunities. Inmates often hold campus maintenance, landscaping, or clerical jobs, sometimes working around military bases. Great. Access to hobby crafts, weight rooms, televisions, and outdoor sports field. Nonviolent populations restricted to strictly white-collar or nonviolent offenders with relatively short sentences and clean institutional behavior records. The reality of Club Fed. Despite the milder conditions compared to maximum security lockups or supermaxes like the ADX in Florence, they remain strictly controlled federal institutions with mandatory counts, rigid schedules, and monitored communications. Boo fucking who? You're in prison. Over the years, the Federal Bureau of Prisons has trimmed many of the recreational perks, and tighter budgets have standardized conditions across most minimum security locations. I wonder what perks were trimmed.
I don't know. Although
I don't think prison is supposed to be anything other than shitty. I think that's the point. It's a punishment.
Well, so on one hand, I do agree with you, especially if you're a violent offender or if you have done something terrible. However, there is evidence that humanely designed prisons that are not as shitty actually helps benefit rehab rates and lower recidivism.
I get that, but you're still being punished. It is a punishment.
I agree. Okay, but here's is it better to punish somebody or to rehab them into a better citizen?
Yes.
So, both. So what if you give up some of the punishment for a greater rate of rehab? Like where's the trade-off? Where's the line in the sand, I guess?
I have absolutely no idea.
Because that's my thing. If the whole goal is to make sure you don't do what you did again.
But is that the goal of prison?
I think
the
it can
goal
be.
of prison is punishment.
I think the goal of prison is to keep.
What is the goal of prison? Google it.
I think it's to keep. Okay. Yeah. My opinion is it's to keep bad people away from the general population.
Yes, to restrict their freedom of movement and largely many of their rights.
Yes, and not because the main thing is punishment, but the main thing is keeping this greater community safe.
By punishing those who would do it harm.
Yes, it is a punishment, but that's not the main. Okay, anyways. What is the main goal of prison? The primary purpose of prison is to confine individuals convicted of a serious crimes.
And punish them. Say it.
And punish them. Retribution. So retribution is part of it. Punishing prisoners. To pay a proportional debt to society. Let me just pull this up. Which I don't disagree with.
Incapacitation, removing dangerous individuals, deterrence, discouraging both specific offender and general public from breaking the law, and rehabilitation. Yeah. So like I said, that's why I answered yes. I think it can be all of those things.
Yeah. How did we get on this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
And if you're a horrible, horrible person and you do horrible, horrible things to people, I want you to be in a horrible, horrible environment.
See,
and that's just me as a person.
I agree with that because, again, it's safer for everybody else, but also you did a terrible thing, and I think you should be punished for that. But I'm not sure, like Texas recently just passed, if you have a certain amount of weed, you basically get in prison for life.
What?
Yeah, it's insane. The land of the free, apparently.
What do you mean, the land of the free? We still have laws.
Texas enforces a strict ban on popular hemp-derived THC alternatives, and blah, 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 blah. Criminal penalties. Possessing banned varieties can result in a state jail penalty. No, there is a...
Are you spreading propaganda, Michael?
No, I saw a legitimate news article about this, but here's, in the meantime.
I've heard some gnarly things about this Delta 8 and Delta 10 stuff. I can't say I know much about it. And the Delta 9 as well. It seems like it's synthetic. I don't know. But it seems pretty gnarly.
Yeah, I've heard not great things about synthetic weed.
Yeah. Yeah, what are you trying to say here? Like, I get it. We still have laws. We're the land of the free for sure, but you still have laws.
Yes, I agree. But, well, I don't even know where was I going with
You were
this.
talking about a life sentence for somebody who has a certain amount of weed.
Yeah, I definitely did see that. And maybe that I just got fooled.
Yeah, I saw an article once that a guy was doing an interview with Bigfoot. It doesn't mean it's real. There's an entire community of people on Earth get together and talk about how the Earth is flat. It doesn't mean it's real.
Yes. Where I was going with this is if you were in jail for a drug offense where you were the only one affected by your drug use, that to me is like, okay, do we really need to put you in a prison, a shitty condition prison? Because yes, it is against the law.
I think we should probably relook at what the laws are and if they're serving the purpose of the the designation or design of those laws. You're always going to be able to find an outlier. There's always it's what happens when you have something that's broad, as it becomes imperfect and imprecise the more it's applied. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, there's an argument for letting people do whatever they want to, decriminalizing everything. How's that going for you, Portland?
That doesn't work out so well for Portland.
No, and I don't know if it will work out well at a larger scale than that either. So, but I also at the same time I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the big problems with Portland is, if I remember correctly, they decriminalized it, but then had no other recourse for those people that were addicted to whatever. And so,
what do you mean by recourse?
Like Portugal did a very similar thing, but they had tons of centers where people could go and wean themselves off instead of going to prison.
If they wanted to?
If they wanted to, yes. But what Portland did is basically said, okay, everything's fine, but then there was no alternative. So then it was just like, okay, well now it's just the Wild West over here. So yeah, I don't know.
That is a very complex issue.
A very complex issue. And there's no one right answer, I don't think.
Yeah. How long have we been at it, Michael?
54.
We had time for a little more corruption. What else you got?
Perfect. This one isn't corruption per se, but have you heard reports?
Why did you add per se to that?
Actually, not even per se. It's just not corruption.
Why did you add per se?
I don't know. It's just because it seemed like a good thing to add on at the time.
Okay.
I didn't really think about it, if I'm being honest. So have you heard of basically the USS Lincoln has been at sea for
the aircraft carrier?
250 days consecutively.
I think so, yes.
And there are stories, again, just stories that I've heard, don't know if it's true, of people trying to jump off of the aircraft carrier.
I watched somebody jump off an aircraft carrier.
How'd that go?
I have spent very little time on a Navy vessel. We took an aircraft carrier from Guam to Australia. We had no roles and responsibilities whatsoever. It was fascinating. I've never been so goddamn lost in my life. When I was down below deck reading the hieroglyphics that were on the walls in the carrier that describe exactly where you're at if you speak that language, which I don't, by the way.
Yeah.
And I was on it wasn't a treadmill, an elliptical.
Okay.
I was crushing a workout on an elliptical. And it was inside of the huge hangar bay where the aircraft are. There's like a lot of aircraft up on the deck. And I was never on an aircraft carrier operationally, so this is my description of what I was seeing many, many years ago. This is pre 9/11. So I'm up there, probably a CD player at the time, just crushing with over-the-ear headphones, Bluetooth. Yeah. Nobody knows what that is at that time period. And just really getting it on the elliptical, probably level 8. Not a big deal.
Of course.
And watched a guy walk over, pull a fire extinguisher off the wall, bear hug it, run, and jump off the side.
So he could sink?
Yeah, but it was positively buoyant.
Do you think he was doing it so he could float and swim away?
I think he was doing it because it was one of a few options. He was trying to kill himself.
Yeah.
an absolute cry for help and not actually trying to kill himself, but he wanted to be treated as such so he could be removed from the vessel.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the combination of all of those with a mental health crisis going on.
Right.
So that was just literally going from Guam to Australia. There's 5,000 people sometimes on these aircraft
that's
carriers.
crazy. That's a little city, a small town.
Well, and you know what you have in every little city? Expressions of society.
Yeah.
There are gnarly prostitution rings.
No way.
There are gang issues.
That's
crazy. It's
I guess so. 5,000 people. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So you have all the same societal stuff.
Yeah.
What could exacerbate that? Stress and being gone much longer than you were designed to be gone for, in these compressed, tight environments with likely no end state. I mean, I'll provide an example, and this is such an easy one to show people the power of your own mind. As a BUD/S instructor, if I wanted to mess with the students, we would go out for a conditioning run, and I'd say, hey, in my mind, by the way, I knew we were going for 4 miles. That was it. I knew the beach marker I was going to turn around on, and we were going to come back. The difference as a student, when an instructor comes out and says, hey, we're going for a run, keep up. If you fall behind, it's going to be your ass, and we're just going to go until I say stop, versus the instructor that come out and says, hey guys, it's Friday, we're going to go for a chill 4 miler. You latch on to that 4 miles. Yeah. And it is so much easier to mentally tolerate that than the unknown.
Right.
These people probably have no idea when they're going to come home, and that can unwind you.
Yeah.
Because you focus on that uncertainty. And the run, like I said, was going to be 4 miles either way.
Yeah.
But the difference in headspace in the students was astronomical. Also, sometimes you'd say, hey, we're going to go for 4 miles, and you just keep going.
But would the students be able to tolerate that better if you did just say, hey, we're just going for 4 miles? And even if
they tolerate that better.
Yeah. Even if you did go beyond 4 miles.
It starts getting a little iffy there, because then we're back into unknown terrain.
Right.
Right.
They're like,
it's
is
the
this really 4
uncertainty
miles?
and the unknown. It can unwind you. You have to not surrender your headspace to that and get back into, I don't know how far we're going to go, but I see that beach marker down there. I'm going to get to that beach marker, and I'll go to the next one, and go to the next one, and go to the next one. You take that agency back, control of your thoughts, versus handing over that power to somebody else. This sucks. But it's also part of the job.
Yeah.
It's a tough life. It's a tough occupation. I have no doubt that the longer that they are gone, the more issues they are going to feel, because again, let's just call it what it is, a small city / society, societal problems in a pressure cooker in a constricted and constrained environment. We could work really hard Monday through Friday, and you and I, Saturday, Sunday, we could go up to Canada. We could go hiking. We could go do whatever we want to do. That option isn't available here either. So there's also no real like steam relief valve for these people that are stuck out there as well. It's tough. It's a hard job.
Yeah. So far, let's see. The longest ever deployment of an aircraft carrier is 332 days.
When was that?
In Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
That's crazy. That's almost a full year without seeing land. I mean, I'm sure you saw land, but never being on land.
It's a lot. It's a hard job, man.
Yeah. That does not sound fun. Anyways, there's really no real point to that.
Okay.
I just thought it was
It's real.
intriguing.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's people underestimate the size and the scale of what exists there. I mean, imagine just the amount of food that is constantly being cooked for that many people.
Yeah.
Resupply operations, jet fuel resupply, ordnance, all of that stuff. I mean, it is a huge wheel with spokes and cogs everywhere just to make that function.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
cool. Where are you going next? You said you were volunteering at a food bank today?
Yes.
How'd you get what's going on there?
Well, I want to start getting volunteer hours so that by the time that I want to apply to PT school, I have a shit ton, basically.
Okay. So you don't actually care about people, you care about yourself.
Kind of, but it does feel nice to volunteer as well.
What are you going to do at this food bank?
I basically just make sure when people are like checking out, I make sure they have like the correct amount of everything.
So you're going to judge them?
No,
Do you
it's
really
not really
need
judgmental,
that
but
can of corn?
you're
You're looking like you're doing okay.
Yeah, that's what I say every single time.
How's your shoulder doing? Your sissy shoulder?
You know, it was doing good, and I think I just kept like tiny re-injuries during
What was that first
jiu-jitsu.
word you used?
Just small re-injuries.
Yeah, but what
during
was that
jiu-
first word?
I forget.
You're on a roll today. Tinily, per se?
Per se. I think I just kept re-injuring it, small re-injuries at jiu-jitsu, and it just wasn't healing. And so I was just like, okay, I just need to take more time off, unfortunately. So that's where we're at with that.
Bummer.
It is a bummer. But,
If everything goes as planned, when will you begin PT school?
probably be 3-ish years. I still got to do my undergrad.
Will you be a doctor at the end of it?
Not a medical doctor, but it's a doctor of physical therapy. It's like its own doctorate.
Will you tell people, hello, I'm Dr. Michael?
No, I will not do that.
Michael Shelton, MD?
Nope.
MD Michael?
Nope. Well, it wouldn't be an MD anyways. It'd be a DPT.
Listen, if I was a doctor of anything, that's all people get to call me.
Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andy! I would just say, it's doctor.
That's not my name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I will start doing that.
I would.
Would be fun.
Demand the respect that you deserve.
Yes,
Michael.
that I've worked so hard for.
Let's not use those words, but the title that you paid for.
Exactly. Yes.
Right.
All right.